In this video, I'm going to share with you a method to do on-page optimization using LLMs that you probably haven't seen before, and that frankly aligns a lot more with the way Google analyzes and interprets your content than any of the paid tools like ClearScope or Surf SEO are capable of accomplishing. Specifically, I'm going to be working on our web design page, which is a page that I've really not spent a ton of time on. And when I look at our numbers in Google Search Console, nothing here is impressive. I mean, for the keyword healthcare website design agency, we're at position 86 here. This is pretty pathetic. And as I look at a number of these top results, I see a whole bunch of websites that we very often beat in Google Search that are in top positions, which tells me this isn't about authority. It's probably about the content. All right, so I really just need to tell the model what the keyword is that I'm trying to target, what my page is, and then give it some websites to compare against so that it can do its NLP analysis. It's going to be analyzing this content on a whole bunch of different dimensions that you're about to see. All right, so it's run the score. You can pause this to see what it's saying about our content, but it's basically rated us well on target keyword focus, the entity inclusion and relationship depth that seems like is missing a lot of stuff, as is the topical coverage and semantic completeness. Information gain versus competitors seems like it's missing even more. The information density versus redundancy seems to be okay, and it also seems like the EEAT signals are kind of missing. Overall, my scores are usually a lot higher when it comes to keyword targeting, which doesn't surprise me because, to be perfectly honest, I put almost no effort into this page. Okay, now I have this thing written where I wanted to create a chart for comparing everybody. It didn't do it here. I may have to adjust the model a little bit, but I'm just gonna ask it to do this. So I'm just telling it to create a chart sharing the scores of everyone that we're analyzing. So interestingly enough, our scores are lower than all of the competition, and we're not ranking for any of this. Now, the next step is to take all of this information to make revisions to the content, run it through the model again, ask it to recalculate our scores in comparison to these competitors, and when it seems like it's moved the needle, get it republished. All right, so I have my report. Now we are going to use this same chat to improve the content that I already have on the page. So I'm going to start off here. This is the existing introduction to the page. How can we tighten it up to expand entity inclusion and relationship depth? All right, so I have all the content from the page. That's just the introduction section, however. Gonna hit enter, let it do its thing. All right, so I just read 3 of these. The one that I like the most is option A. My question is, though, is there anything else that could be added to this? Okay, so I think this works. I'm gonna tell it to take option A and put it on a canvas. All right, so the next section on my page is actually about HIPAA compliance. Now that I think about it, there's a good chance that there are other things that we should be covering. Like I noticed that it mentioned a bunch of things that it thought would be too much to add into the introduction, but it may actually work here. So I'm gonna ask it to include all of that in the section and pretty much rename the section. So basically my prompt is the next section is about HIPAA compliance. I think we may need to expand it to other topics as well as rename it. This is the content, what should we add? And I've entered it. Okay, so it's recommending a whole bunch of things that the competitors have all brought up. I think that we should include everything about maybe just 1 and 2. I think that the local trust signals, the conversion and patient journey, this is largely about conversion. Core web vitals, I'm personally not a huge proponent of spending any resources on. I'm going to ask it just to rewrite this section to include information about 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I'm honestly, as a first draft, this is really good, so I'm going to ask it to place this on the canvas after the section that you already wrote. All right, now I've got my next section. All right, next section is talking about more like performance. I think that we should talk about the SEO-driven content writing. It's one of the reasons why clients pick us, but when comparing to the competitors, there were a few of these things like the conversion and patient journey entities, tracking and measurements, local trust signals. This would probably be a good place to put this in. All right, so now I'm having it include information about 4, 5, and 6, as well as rewrite the content that we had previously. All right, so I added the section about our pricing and everything. Now I'm asking the model what's missing. All right, so I just gave it a good walkthrough of what our process is for designing websites. The model recommended that we have a section that discuss it. It's been written, it's placed on the canvas. I'm now going to ask it to calculate the scores again. All right, so in this case, I'm going to try to have the model just edit the content to optimize for all these scores. Let's see how it does. All right, it did its thing. I'm fine with all this content. I'm going to get it onto the website now. I'm doing a whole series on all of these NLP analyses. If you want to check out the playlist, you can see it right there.